it's dangerous, you know. You really got to watch your back over there.
Her teeth was hanging on by just a piece of skin.
As we know, sometimes blackness is associated with things that are quite derogatory and negative. Hey guys, and we're back. So we have some biltong here, venison biltong. It says it's black wildebeest. It says our venison graze freely. Our venison biltong is made from venison meat, gems bok and or springbok and or Belsbok and or wildebeest and or kudu and or hartesbeest and or eland and or impala using
turkey and or
it's basically chicken. Impala using a traditional South African recipe. It is mildly spiced and has a rich game meat flavour, but no routine antibiotics, free range and no growth stimulants. This is from Woolworths food. We don't actually have Woolworths in the UK anymore, and we never had Woolworths food. We only had Woolworths like as in stationery. And
so like homeware, no?
Yeah, stationery and homeware, and like school uniforms and ladybird clothes. Oh yeah. But they didn't have food. They had pick and mix sweets.
I think a long time ago.
Really?
No, that's America, isn't it? Oh. Where you see them, in America.
Ah.
Woolworths.
Oh, the counter. Yeah, Woolworths counter. They tried to integrate it.
Yeah, and the people didn't want them. They didn't want the beer.
Oh, is that Woolworths?
And they used to pour drink on them like that.
That's Woolworths.
So people was coming. And then here we are supporting them.
Okay, so I'm gonna let me smell it first. I can already smell something like spices. I'm getting. It's kind of giving me like mango chutney seasoning scent.
Let me smell. Like allspice. Seasoning.
Yeah, it's strong.
Yeah, nutmeggy.
Okay.
That smells like allspice.
That's what Mum's saying. Yeah. Do you smell?
Yeah,
you don't smell. Oh yeah, you don't smell like mango chutney.
Okay.
Oh, cloves.
yes,
Okay, yeah, I can smell that.
1, 2, 3.
You can't bite yours off?
You know what it tastes like now? You know when I wash out the salt from the ham?
Yeah.
Or from turkey ham? Tastes like that a bit.
Washed out? You don't think this is salty?
No.
What? You don't think this is salty? When you find water salty? I don't really mind it.
No.
Yeah, what would you rate it?
It's like a 2.
I was gonna say 1, 2, or 3.
I would say 1, really.
What? I actually don't mind this. I don't mind it. Like I wouldn't go and buy it again. But I don't mind it. I don't mind it. Oh, maybe you needed one of these bits.
Why?
Maybe your bit was. Let me try that bit. Oh. Wow. Oh yeah. Okay. I can see why you don't. It's so different. It was the different parts of the animal that taste different. Because that. Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah. I can understand why you say that now. Yeah.
This is soy.
Yeah.
That part is better.
That part is better, yeah. Oh yes, guys. I didn't get to finish what we were saying, not this video, the last video. Yes, so basically what had happened when we was trying to get our SIM card, we wanted to go to MTN because that's what our host suggested, and they were closed. And Vodacom, I think, is one that the people at work had suggested, the ones that work here, and we couldn't get that either. So Telkom was the only one, and I think we were saying telecom, but I think it's Telkom. So Telkom was the only place that was open. So we've gone in, we explained to them that we are from the UK, and so can we buy a SIM card? We want data, blah, blah, blah. So they're like, oh yeah, sure. So we're like, oh great. So they're like, oh, you need a place of residence, a proof of place of residence. And I'm like, well, we have Airbnb. So they're like, okay, cool, we can use that. So they start putting it in, and I think the girl that was serving us, it looked like they were kind of like trying to train her. So that was kind of delaying the thing. And so then at some point, I feel like we were there for like, what, an hour? We were there for so long. And then they had to get this guy in the back. He came out, and then now there's 3 people around the computer, and they're all trying to get it to work. Then they're going between the computers. Turns out, they were like, oh, our systems are down, so we can't load the thing. So they managed to get us the SIM cards, but they couldn't load the data onto the SIM cards. So then they're like, oh, we're closing. And so they were like, oh, we've got another store across the way. But then it took us like an hour to find it.
So long.
And then when we got to the other ones, they were having a similar issue. So the guy was trying to do our data on the front computer, it wouldn't work. He said, oh, I have to go and use my manager's computer. And we waited and waited until closing. And then eventually I said to him, please make it work. We need the data. And he was like, I will do it. So anyway, he did it. Came back now, as we've left the store with the phone and everything, we're like, oh yeah, we've got the data just cut off. Like it just locked off. We couldn't hotspot, we couldn't use it, we couldn't book our Uber to come back. So before, like the doors were just closing, and we were like, no, we have to go back in. So we went back in. He stayed there trying to figure it out, and then he did something and it said no service. So then he was like, oh no. He was like, I don't know what's happened. So anyway, he was saying that there's bad network, there's bad reception in the mall. So it managed to come back on, and so when we left, then it worked. But we did say to him, if it doesn't work, then we'll have to bring it back tomorrow. And he was like, yeah, sure, take my details and whatever. But yeah, it worked. But it was a long time. It was a long first day. It really was. And
because we had planned to do other things. Yeah. Besides that, we liked the place itself. The little that we saw of it at that time.
Yeah.
Nice. We enjoyed it.
Yeah, I haven't felt
scared.
I'm not scared like people have been saying.
Yeah, no, because
like whenever you say like, oh, I'm going to South Africa, they're like, oh, why would you pick that?
Well, Johannesburg specifically. Yeah, Johannesburg specifically.
Yeah.
So the people at work, they were kind of like, oh, Cape Town, and I'm like, no, we're going to Johannesburg.
Yeah,
there's Cape Town, and then I'm like, no, Johannesburg, and they're like, the whole 10 days. You're going the whole 10 days. And I'm like, well, yes. And then like, oh, it's dangerous, you know. You really got to watch your back over there. Like, and I'm telling you, everyone I spoke to, the same narrative. You really have to be careful. It's a bit dangerous, you know.
And I just think that it's just cheeky to say, because you have to be careful in London.
Yeah, well, that's what I said. I said that a few times. And they're like, oh yeah, but it's a different kind of danger out there. Like, people at work have had their phones stolen round the corner from work, and that is the city. That is the city of London. Yeah, like there's theft. We've seen terrorist attacks on London Bridge or the bridges near there. So I feel like, I don't know, maybe it's a bit of sensational news that comes in the media and stuff like that, so then it feeds into people's beliefs. My other belief is that Johannesburg is predominantly black, and so as we know, and not to get obviously too racial and political, but as we know, sometimes blackness is associated with things that are quite derogatory and negative. And so I feel like that's probably why there's this assumption, even though there is crime, there's crime everywhere. But usually if it is in an area that is predominantly a particular color, then there's kind of like this extra added need of surveillance and caution. And
yeah, but it's really weird because like last night when we was out late and we was walking, there was so many black people and there was some white people that was walking around us all, and they didn't even seem scared themselves.
And South Asians.
Yeah, and the Asians, they were all walking together. Everybody was walking. Nobody had that. They didn't look like, oh, let me hold my handbag, you know what I mean? there's black people around, but nonetheless, as we were saying before, when we was coming, everybody's saying, are you sure?
Yeah.
I mean, even the locals here do also say it. Like, even like, when
yeah.
asking strangers, they're like, oh, don't answer strangers.
Don't ask strangers. Be careful.
I think what it is that they're brought into the stereotyping of what it means to be black.
When you look, and I don't know, obviously, if it's because the area that we're in, so it's a bit different.
Yeah, no, I was going to say that as well, because obviously we're in a wealthier, I guess, middle class to upper class area, and so yes, there will be less crime in these kind of areas, but also they were saying, like, even in Sandton, even in Rosebank and places like that, they're still very much like, be careful, don't have your phones out, don't. But you know how many people we've been seeing with their phones out taking pictures and blah blah blah.
So casual. They're all casual.
Yeah.
They're standing up talking, their phones in their hand. They're just like this. Nobody's
like
hiding their phones.
Grabbing their, holding their shopping bags.
Yeah, no,
like, they're just
everybody's
out with their shopping trolleys, their bags are in it. Like, no one's running and trying to take the bag from the
And not once did I feel like, oh my God, quick, Eli, let's run home. We've got to get home because it's so dark, it's so late, and we don't know what's lurking in the dark. You know? I didn't even feel that.
But I guess, like, you know, in any country, it doesn't matter where it is. Once you start, if there's poverty, then there will be crime, and sometimes, you know, it is engineered. And then the other thing is, like, after hours in any place, you're gonna get some sort of illegal activities under the cover of the darkness. So it's that too, but I do feel like it felt very exaggerated for here, and I know we haven't been there that long, but in terms of
early days,
but we're
dividing anything back.
But just the way in which it was spoken about, it felt so negative. Like, it started to make me feel
scared about
it.
About
you was
coming.
telling me like, Mom, we've got to go. It's late. It's getting dark.
Like, I started to feel like, even getting into the Uber, I'm thinking, oh, we have to put the shopping in quickly because someone might want to try and take the shopping. But they're not. Like, they're not.
Open for
the boot was open. Like, they're not doing that. They're not doing that. So I do feel like, yes, there is danger. I feel like there's danger everywhere. You always have to be cautious wherever you are.
I mean, yeah, like in London, there's certain areas we don't even go, you know, unless we're passing through. It's like when we was coming, we saw some people on the street, or they were sleeping rough and things like that. But we have that in London, you know what I mean? And apart from that, when we got to the area where we was staying, where we are staying, it's totally different, just like London.
I say that to say, I don't think that you should be put off by what you might see in the media and by what people might say to you, because then you kind of like live a very limited life according to what other people have said and other people's opinions. I feel like you should go out and travel and experience the world for yourself and form your own memories and form your own opinions of things. Don't just live by what other people are saying, because then we wouldn't have come.
Yeah, we was feeling a little apprehensive.
Yeah, proper. Like, literally, I was considering cancelling. Like, I was considering, like, the way I started feeling, because I was saying to people, like, no, it's not that bad, and the way people were trying to drill into me, like, no, it's that bad. Like I said, I just feel like, go and make your own opinion.
Yeah.
Guys, I broke my nail so terribly in the traveling. Can you see how? And it's hurting, so I can't even, like, I think it's attached to the skin.
Pull it off. Pull it off. Just pinch it off.
No, what if it rips my whole arm and then it goes all the way up there?
Let me see.
Let mommy see.
I'm not gonna do it. Wait, let me
Mom, I know you're not going to do it. Listen, this woman told me that in Trinidad, when my teeth was hanging on, she was like, no, let me just see. And then she went, boom, like that.
When I had the
grabbed it right out of my mouth.
It wasn't like that. Choice to make. Her teeth was hanging on by just a piece of skin.
Yes, it was.
Yeah, just like that.
We actually visited the beach that happened on. So if you go back to our Trinidadian and Tobago vlogs, you'll be able to see me tell the story, because it was on that very beach. That very beach. Oh, no, Mum, it's too far down. It's too far down. Look, no, Mum, no.
Huh?
No. Plaster somewhere.
Yeah, give me the plaster.
Give me the plaster. Let me see.
No, Mum, I know. You're going to put it on.
No, I'm just saying. I won't pull it off.
No.
Because I know nails are cold.
Yeah, no, look, it's too far. Look, it's too far down. Look.
Yeah, it is.
I would have just pulled it myself. Gym. The bar. Remember I was saying they have a restaurant type thing? Yeah. 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 Just there enjoying his life, living his best life. Guys, that thing there was on Mum, and she thought it was her hair. So she just kind of like, it just moved. What made you dash it?
Because
Is it still
my mind just told me, no, this is not your hair, and it was like it started moving in one of my glasses.
So then we just thought, so Mum knocked it, and it went into the pool, and then we're just like, oh, it's just probably a leaf. Kelly's like, it's a leaf, it's a leaf.
Can we help it?
Yeah, help it out. Oh no, you squished it. Oh no, go down under it. Go down.
Don't move, Eli, don't move.
Oh yeah.
I thought you get sweet.
Oh, there it is. Is it there? Isn't that there?
This is another one.
Guys, Mr. Johnson is fine. No. Mr. Johnson is okay.